Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Occults Receivable. Anthony here with Theresa,
Hello.
and tonight is going to be fun because Theresa, by her own admission, has had a single drink before
Yep, just one.
before we started streaming, and so this is going to be a time. So, oh God,
It
last
probably
time.
won't be. Don't let Anthony get you hyped.
No, it's well. I mean, we're gonna try and be entertaining. I'll try and be
Oh, yeah, for
entertaining.
sure. I mean, I
Um,
always try, but
yeah,
whether or not I succeed is another question
but
entirely.
we ended last session. We became the fucking wolf. We are the werewolf. It is Haruaki, Haru, and Kaori,
Yes,
and
I
we are.
did have a thought
Mhm.
on this whole sort of because you posited last week that, or yeah, last week that so like when people are given guardians, it kind of like adjusts their personality or like
Uh-huh.
something happens to them and they shift a little
At,
bit.
at at night.
At night, yeah. What
Yeah.
I'm thinking is, so based on Chiami's behavior as the wolf,
Right.
um, I feel like it's less a shift in personality and more a release of inhibition. Because when she wasn't a wolf, Chiami, by her own admission, both loops said, I hate this village, I hate the people here.
Right.
So I feel like when she was a
Oh.
wolf, that took it to her the logical extreme. She hates these people. Of course she's going to want to murder them. But it's like intrusive thoughts, you know?
Right. So
Like
essentially the wolf is making you give in to all of your worst impulses. like
yes.
like we already know that she like beat the shit out of some kids from Kami Fujiyoshi,
Mhm.
and then like last loop when she was the wolf, she's just like, I just want to kill. I love killing. So
Yes.
it's like taking all of your bad impulses and ratcheting them up to 11.
Yeah, and I think the other guardians might have that effect on the people they affect more mildly
Yeah.
because obviously those other guardians aren't like malignant the way the wolf is malignant. Anyway,
Yeah,
that's my
and
theory
well,
for
no,
now.
that makes okay. That does make sense because one of the things that bothered me about the last major loop when
Mhm.
Haruaki was the snake is how all of a sudden he's like super protective and like he completely forgot his whatever he had going with Chiemi. Like it completely dropped out of his head. And I'm wondering if, not trying to retroactively redeem Haruaki who's kind of a creep, but
Yes.
I'm wondering if the snake influenced how he was feeling towards Rikako. Uh, One because she was clearly getting closer to him and snake mode was kicking in, but also
Mhm.
because instinctively maybe he knew that Chiemi was the wolf, or the snake guardian knew that Chiemi was the wolf.
Maybe.
Um, that's
That would be, yeah,
interesting. Yeah, that's
that is,
that's
yeah.
what I kind of. All right, so yeah, going into this, I want to know how now that we are. I mean, we've been in Haruaki's head this whole time. I
Hmm.
definitely want to see how him being the wolf recontextualizes and characterizes his decisions in this one.
Yeah, it is absolutely going to change his behavior.
Yeah, so my body hurt. I know
Womp
that.
womp.
Yep, the familiar sensation made me open my eyes slightly. I saw the bright but shabby inside of the prefab. So yeah, the other big difference is, yeah, he switched with Yudai. So now he was in the prefab while Yudai was in the house.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
so
hopefully has some sort of toilet so Yudai wouldn't like go out in the middle of the night to relieve himself, which is
yeah,
what they assumed last time.
that's what they assumed, and now I'm wondering because Mamiya was the wolf. I wonder if she went and coaxed him out.
Mm, I don't know. That does have merit, but I honestly think that it might have just been a matter of like obviously he's not going to take these villages things as seriously as the villagers because he doesn't live
Right.
here. He doesn't know the traditions. So he's just going to be like, "Oh, I have to pee. Naturally, I'm going to
Maybe.
do it outside where I'm not sleeping."
Right.
And
Okay.
I honestly think that's really all it was for him.
Right. Okay. Through the dirty, curtainless window, I saw the mist outside. This was reality, wasn't it? I lifted my upper body, turned a bit, moved my head, pinched my cheek. It all felt real. I then tried to stand, and I could. Look at me,
Good
I'm
job,
standing.
Haruaki. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. His death resulted in the different rolling of the rolls than him living. Yeah. So looking at my phone, which was about to run out since this place had no electricity, I saw the correct date and then it was 8 o'clock. I'd slept in pretty late. Remembering something, I lifted the bottom of my shirt and looked at my stomach. What I saw made me freeze.
Oh, interesting. So he doesn't really remember his dream.
Right. The Lord of the Hunt, the Wolf, slay all the Yomibito, cleanse and purify or die. I wonder I wonder if to succeed on this loop we have to actually kill everybody.
I'm kind of thinking that is probably the case.
Yeah.
And I'm also thinking, like, too, like I was saying, how the wolf kind of releases inhibition.
Yeah.
It must also, like, really ratchet up survival instinct.
Yeah.
Um, because I feel like a lot of these characters, like, based on their community and kind of based on their social ties with one another,
Uh-huh.
they would probably, like, no in normal situations, were like, okay, um, it's either them or me if, they didn't have any, so Tai, for example, was a
Right.
wolf. Like, in a normal situation, she's aware of all of this, like, these legends and so on and so
Yeah.
forth.
You'd think she'd give
She
herself up.
she would, yeah, if there wasn't something else affecting her reasoning and her decision making.
Right, right. Yeah. And no, this is actually really interesting because this is like a baked-in genocide run.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
this is like the genocide run in Undertale. Let's
yeah,
go.
it wasn't a dream. Or was it? Nope, time to gaslight myself again. Cleanse,
Yeah.
purify, dream.
そんなもんは上藤吉の方々が私たちをバカにしてから考えたもんじゃと思ったのよね。だけどそうじゃない。本当じゃと親内様は加護を
When did
く
she
ださ
say
ると
this?
ともにそう言われなさった。
End of the first loop. This is
Okay,
when she
this
was
is
the
Wolf
wolf.
Tai
This
talking.
is Wolf
Okay.
Tai, yeah.
This game is so
おじいちゃんが
fucking
死んだ
long.
日に
I know.
私の
I'm
夢に
really
出て
shocked. I wasn't expecting this.
そう教えてくれたんだ。
Like based off of how this is being uploaded, but to YouTube, this is the entire month of June.
Yep.
So it's Omegaverse June, I guess. Is that the
I
name
guess
of
so.
the wolf slash fan fiction Omegaverse?
Oh, don't fucking ask me. I don't know.
I think it was something like that. I think I saw Lindsay Ellis or something about that. Hillary,
Hmm.
I know you're listening. Lindsay Ellis, was she talking about the Omegaverse? Is that about wolves and shit? About alphas and things? Anyway. Let's see. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I was right. Great Lord Shinai told the real story through dreams, making the people of Yasumizu change drastically. They went from those who hunted wolves to those who hunted humans. It wasn't clear which side was right. I didn't even know if there was a right side to this. But
Time to gaslight.
I didn't feel much. I didn't get any sort of hatred for the humans or motivation to kill. It's gonna happen at night, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna happen at night.
I didn't get any sort of hatred for the... Okay, yeah. The first time Yasunaga-kun, Tai-san, and Haru-chan all had some sort of cold, calm anger towards the humans. Last time, Chiemi had said that she was intent on killing me from the start. As for Mochi, my first impression of him was weird but harmless kid, and that somehow became insane killer.
まあ私らにもいろいろあって最後まであがかないといけないことになってるからさ。もう質問とかやめてよ。面倒。
However, she'd also said that she was struggling, and it didn't sound like it had anything to do with what she wanted. Regardless of what you were like before, you became a wolf by getting the wolf as your guardian. What was Mamiya-san like in that regard? She had worked as a wolf, but that was either just to survive or because she was urged by Chiemi. There was no zeal or loyalty there, so she ended up being silenced. That meant that the real story only worked on the people of Yasumizu. That was the only way things made sense. That...
Oh, go ahead. You were
No,
gonna say something.
no, because that kind of explains why she was so quick to say that she was the snake earlier on,
Hmm.
Chiemi would have been like, okay, the first thing you need to do is pretend you're the snake. You have to say that right away because otherwise that'll one lure out the other snake, and two, we'll get something. She was basically expendable.
Yes. The thing that actually I was thinking about a little bit before we started playing, but
Uh
has
huh.
also just reoccurred to me is it's really annoying to me that our other two wolves are Kaori and Haru,
Uh
two
huh.
of the most complacent characters on this cast.
Yeah.
Like, on the one hand, I can kind of get that, okay, the writers are setting it up so that they'll follow the player's lead,
Uh
but
huh.
on the other hand, the writers have set it up so they're following Haruaki, Boner-san is always right, Fusaishi's lead, you know?
Right. I mean, the other thing is obviously Haru had seen God or whatever before, so this is
Yes.
we're using this as a method to get closer to Haru to see actual like get information. Um, and I think we're also the reason. Yeah, that, as I say, I remember when Cowdy snapped. The reason why I think we're gonna get why it's good that we got Cowdy is because we still are very fuzzy on the details of her husband's death.
Yes.
So
We did get some information that it sounded like he died in the previous feast,
yes, and I
but
think
maybe things
that's
are murkier than that.
yeah, and I think that's where we're basically the game teamed us up with the two people we needed the most information from.
Okay, that's fair.
Because like anyone else, going through the cast of people that we don't really like have strong bonds with, like Yoshitsugu or the old man who cried wolf, like we wouldn't get anything from them. It would be hysterical to have those guys as the other wolves.
Oh
Um,
God, it would. Can you
but
imagine?
yeah, oh, absolutely, I absolutely can. Um,
We've been robbed.
the best thing because tonight we're gonna get the Badger, and honestly, I would love to see Yoshitsugu as the Badger.
Oh shit,
Yeah,
that would be good.
either Yoshitsugu or Takumi. Those I think would be the best Badgers.
No, Takumi, he's too good and too
He is
pure.
too good. Um, yeah, I mean that would Hillary. That makes a good. I mean, I would like to see Cowdy and Haru go full murder crazy, and then we're kind of coordinating. But at the same time, like it's good. I gotta see how this plays out. So okay, that
Yeah.
was the only.
I mean, my prediction right now is basically because Haruaki, of the three of these characters, Haruaki is the most decisive because of his penis.
Right.
He's going to be the one making the calls.
Yeah.
Like
I
they
mean,
will eventually,
obviously.
do what he says. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean that's what apparently having a dick grants you.
Yeah.
That's what happens
Yeah. Yeah.
by virtue of the penis.
Mm-hmm.
But
But
if that dreamlike experience was true, then this time the wolves were Haruchan, Kaori-san, and I, right? I had seen them in the mist and red light, and they certainly didn't look right. I wasn't sure if it was actually a matter of sanity, but they just accepted the event as natural. A change born from the real story, an event set up from the start. No, I also had to consider the possibility that it was just a dream, and that me being chosen as a wolf had nothing to do with it.
oh, I'm
Oh,
curious now because it did show us Kaori and Haru, and they gave us unique sprites for each of them.
uh-huh.
We didn't
Yeah.
see Haruaki at all during that dream sequence.
No, we didn't. I still couldn't be sure if
Hmm.
they were the other wolves.
Oh my God, Haruaki. How
I,
long have you been doing this?
you've been trapped in this loop for like 1,000 fucking years. I
God, okay,
absolutely
whatever.
couldn't just go to the dining hall and ask them if they were. Hey, any other wolves in this business? I had to wait until tonight. Suddenly,
大使大丈夫か
oh, someone's dead.
Oh, our sweet cinnamon
Haruaki-san?
roll.
春秋さん生きてる春秋さん
Someone knocked on my door. I quickly wiped off the bloody guardian mark on my stomach. It was dry, so it came off easily. I washed my hands in the bucket and locked the door.
無事か
よかった春秋さん
Oh, this is gonna suck. They're really like they all like really like me from the start. It's not some of this weird like mistrusting ones in the other loop, like from the other loops.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is the genocide run because we're going to have to absolutely kill all these people.
Yep.
Oh God. I saw Takumi-san armed with a farming tool and Shimi, who was so happy about my survival she had tears in her eyes. The fact that she was the same person as that vicious mass murderer made it difficult to be happy about this development. If this was an act, this reminded me that she herself had told me I had a bad eye for women. Without any of that, she'd really seemed like nothing but a gentle, cute young woman. Yeah, here we go. Now we're back to fucking this shit.
Yep. Hey,
Uh,
Haruaki, you promised us we wouldn't. Oh, we're not doing this.
we carefully walked through the mist.
Shit, I was expecting him to wax poetic about Chiemi for the next 5 minutes. Okay.
Bonersan's taking over. It's time for Bonersan to wax poetic. That fickle bitch. We
Well, let's
carefully
find
walked
out who
through the mist.
まさ
died.
か本当に霧が立つなんて不吉なことだって聞いたけど
うん。どこまで聞いたのかな？
必ず死人が出るって
誰だよ。来て早々ろくでもねえこと吹き込んだのは。
それはまあともかくまさか
Way to
どなたか
deflect
亡
there,
くなったんですか
Haruaki.
I know, right? That aside, hey, did someone die? Hey, can
Did
we talk about some
someone die?
murders?
い
Hey!
や、
Oh, no one died.
まだ誰も死んでないよ。
Okay.
Good.
もうみんないるんだ
うん、食堂に。ごめん、春明さんを迎えに行くの遅くなっちゃって。
みんな霧が出てパニクってんだ。後回しにして悪かったな。
Of course, they'd come for me last. I was at the bottom of the totem pole here. And despite that, I was a wolf. Crap. How was I supposed to survive Kanzo-san's Can You Just Die today? Hold on. What was I thinking? Was I actually going to fulfill my role as a wolf?
This will be. I'm actually really interested to see how the writers handle this.
Yeah, I really like. I need to know how this goes down. Like, does he
Yep.
do black out and suddenly people are dead? Are you aware for it? Like, I need to know how they handle this.
Yeah, we're
I
gonna
would
find
a-
out. I'm
I would
excited.
actually create those awful piles of corpses. I didn't want to do that. I wasn't beholden to some weird legend. There was no need for me to play along with this insanity. Honestly, I could just reveal who the wolves were on the first day, then keep the sacrifices minimal, and no, that'd result in my own death. I had to think carefully. See, okay, now I know how frustrated we get every time he gaslights himself into believing something different.
Mm-hmm.
I almost feel like they were doing that so much to sort of prepare us for this, because I don't think he's doing this willfully.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, making him gaslight himself previously is just to kind of inform, like, so that we don't think that he's doing this, like, against his will. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, they've just kind of built it into his character, so, like, of
Right.
course, we're not going to question it too much at this point,
Right. But
ostensibly.
little did they know, I like to overanalyze things. And here
Little
I
did they
am.
know, they made their protagonist a little too hateable, so of course we're going to overanalyze
We're
every
gonna
single one of
nitpick
his many
every
glaring
goddamn
flaws.
thing. I had to survive. I had to survive and escape the loop. This wasn't a matter of just leaving Yasumizu or Fujiyoshi. I'd actually ended the feast once and escaped, yet the death loop still continued. Hell, the Feast of the Yomi Purge and the general mystery surrounding Fujiyoshi still wasn't over. Honestly, I had no confidence if I'd been on the right mind when I decided to actually move to Fujiyoshi. It felt like all the characters and stage props here were gathered to bring about nothing but tragedy. Until I'd solved all the mysteries here, the supernatural forces here would continue to terrorize me, no matter how far I ran. There was the possibility that surviving as a wolf would solve everything, though that wasn't a pleasant thought. Perhaps I'd come back to life, return from Yomi, over and over because of the local Yomi inhabitants. So in order to solve this, I had to become a wolf and kill them all. Right. This could be the right path.
Mmm.
Yeah, he just
Haruaki-san?
gaslit himself into wolf.
Yep.
どうしたの
どうしたの？難しい顔して。
ちょっといろいろ不安でこれでも結構怖がりなんだ
無理はねえよ。
Would I have to kill them too?
お前
Yes,
血と
dumbass.
か平気か？
どうしてです
I thought you said no one died.
人は死んでないけど、ちょっとね。
Well, something happened.
Their expressions turned dark. I saw the plaza.
狼様は3人おる。
Just like last time. Oh, this is written in blood. Just like last
Oh,
time,
okay.
Tai Yamawaki-san was at the Okiba with 3 Yomotsu Okami symbols painted on it.
どういうことです？
後で教えてあげるからね。
Thanks, Tai. The exchange was exactly as I remembered. I still knew about all this, so I had to be careful to stay in character. I couldn't forget that just about everyone here had their first feast today. They didn't have the knowledge or experience, and no one had killed anyone yet. If I went and said something weird, they'd suspect me, so I had to act like the confused newbie. As I approached the plaza, I noticed a strange stench. Though it resembled the smell of death I was now intimately familiar with, this one felt more beastly.
何があるの？この先。
見ない方がいいよ。
I disregarded her warning and headed towards the source of the smell. Huh. There was a pile of corpses in the middle of the plaza.
Ha.
Oh. It's just game meat, probably. It's Shishinade.
Okay.
Though they weren't human. From what I could tell, they were the remains of a mid-sized 4-legged beasts. They looked like dogs, but their bodies were in such terrible shape I wouldn't have been able to tell if they were foxes, tanuki, or wolves instead.
This is interesting.
Some had their limbs or heads removed, and a lot were just cut up really badly.
This
Bloody
is,
fur.
like, new.
Yeah. Bloody fur, eyes open so wide you'd think they'd fall out. If I had to guess, there were at least 20 of these here in this pile. Jesus!
God damn.
It was about as tall as the back of a smaller adult. It reeked badly, but more than that, it was just disturbing. Crimson fur, countless fangs, claws, eyes. This seemed like an original idea for a fantasy monster. Indeed.
Original character, do not steal.
Monster was very apt. Haruaki, stop playing D&D. It was almost a monument dedicated to the Yomotsu Okami. Perhaps this was the example this time.
絶対触
Oh,
んなよ。
maybe.
後で全部皿長に捨てる。
Maybe.
Yeah, because, like, first loop, the journalists died. Second
Yeah.
loop, only,
Yudai.
Yudai died. And now we're on our third loop. We managed to save him from dying, so,
Yeah,
okay.
there was no one to be made an example of, so the mountain said, hey, fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Now
dump
it's like,
this.
hey, we're doing this.
Hey, we're doing this. See, get me the busload of animal corpses. Come on. I'm just gonna drop
Just
them on
dump
their
it in
front
the
step.
plaza.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wasn't planning on touching it. It was basically a heap of potential diseases. Wouldn't dumping it in a river be illegal, though? Screw it, this wasn't the time to worry about stuff like that.
春明さん、意外と平気？
Oh shit! Blah!
まあ、犬の死体とかは街でも見るし、これが人間だったらどうなったかわからないけど。
Where the fuck are you seeing dog corpses?
I've lived in a city my entire life and never seen a single dog corpse, in town.
I know! Like,
What the fuck?
Where? What?
Okay, wait, no. To give him benefit of the doubt, maybe he's talking about roadkill.
Okay, maybe, but yeah, you could have just said roadkill. Like, I've seen plenty of, like, fucking pancake squirrels and shit. I see dead dogs in town all the time. I think there's a problem with your town.
Yeah.
It probably wouldn't affect me much at this point, to be honest. I'd seen too many horrible human corpses.
生きとったか。
Outside the dining hall, there was Kanzo Makshimashi, gun in hand. Along with him was...
久石君。
おはよ
At the entrance, there was Mamiya-san, who looked uneasy, relatable, and Hashimoto-san, who looked strangely composed. After greeting them, I went inside. I actually want to see what insights Yudai would bring to the feast.
I know, right?
これで全員だな。
Like, as morbid as it is, I do hope we get to kind of, like, have some say in who gets killed off, because honestly,
Yeah.
I'd be really fascinated to find out more about the reporters.
Yeah, I agree. I looked around
Yeah.
and yeah, everyone was here.
Hillary hopes that Yudai takes the protag role that we've abandoned.
Yeah.
Agreed.
A total of 16. What a party. At one seat, there was Haru-chan. Her face was pale, and her two friends were seated next
こ
to
こ
her.
にいたら安全だから。
ご飯食べれそう？
無理。
She'd hated the mist before, but this time it seemed even worse. She also made herself as small as possible, and it felt like she was averse to their care. This seemed like a mix of her fear of the mist and the rejection of the villagers she'd had as a badger.
というか、休みずで一番怖がりなんだよね、はるちゃん。
Scaredy cat.
昔話の汚れとか、昔からすごく怖がってたし、ある意味、汚れるのを嫌がってたのかも。だから、はるちゃんが狼でも、誰も殺したりできないと思うんだな。
Yeah, we're about to find out if she really can.
So I think, do you think what either Kaori or Haru are going to get found out?
That seems likely.
I honestly think Kaori is going to get found out. The reason why
yeah.
I think if anyone starts to doubt Haru, Kanzo's going to fucking swoop in and get hyper overprotective.
Yes.
And because he's like, he carries so much sway in the village, he's going to put the kibosh on any of that shit.
Yeah, agreed.
So,
Grandpa's gonna keep Haru safe, and Kaori has Takumi to speak for her, kinda, but not really in the same way.
While she does have Takumi in her camp, Takumi doesn't carry the sway. He bridges the gap between the generations, but at the very end, he'll always defer to Kanzo and Tai.
Yes.
So, yeah, you know, I could see him. Unfortunately, he'd put up a protest, but he's gonna end up siding with them regardless.
Yeah.
So,
and we're probably not going to hang anyone today, just based on our last loops, because the villagers,
everyone's
rightly
alive.
so, are averse to it. Yeah, and everybody's alive. So.
A girl who was afraid of the corruption. It started 8 years ago when she tried to visit Yasumizu when it was covered in mist and saw something. That had to be it. The idea, or certainty, that the people around her were Yomibito had to scare her pretty badly. Maybe she really was a wolf. Kaori-san, on the other hand, looked okay. That thought came too soon. A moment later, I heard a crash from behind the counter.
ごめんなさい。片付けるわ。
Yeah, they're processing the fact that they're wolves and they don't want to do this.
あ、僕がやります。というか、下働きなのに手伝いもせずすみません。
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how, they handle it after the first night.
Yeah. Without waiting for a response, I hurried behind the counter. There was broken porcelain on the floor, along with some rice and soup, the same food as last loop, basically. Actually, I know we keep interrupting, because there's so much to point out. So, yeah. So, the first loop, it was Tai and Yasu with Haru as the badger. And Yasu is far too calculating, you know. It was about survival. He's also the type of person that if he heard the legend, that he would believe it. And same thing with Tai. They would go all in on whatever the wolves said. So, emotionally, they could steal themselves very, very easily. In the second loop, Chiemi and Mochi is a genius and also just kind of way out there. So he didn't really have any fear of operating as a wolf or possibly being,
it's very autistic coded.
Yeah, because he's so,
his brain works differently.
Yes, he's so neurodivergent. And Chiemi is already kind of like a dangerous outsider. And she knows how to play everybody in the village. She knows everybody. So that first thing that she did early on, vote to hang me, that clearly solidified her as in everyone else's mind as human. Yeah. So this is the first time where Haruaki is with very emotionally fragile people.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm really interested to see how this is going to work out.
Yep.
I already knew what was where in the kitchen, so I wetted a cloth, wrung it out, and started wiping it up. Then I spread out a newspaper and collected the porcelain. Suddenly, I felt something touch my upper arm. I turned around.
It's a bug! Oh.
And saw Kaori-san crouching and staring at the floor with a pale expression. She was shaking. I could tell from her touch. There were tears in her eyes, and her half-open mouth made her look like she was about to sob. She's going first. She's already breaking down.
Yeah.
They're gonna hang her first. Her whole body was basically saying that she couldn't bear this.
香織さんは気分が悪いみたいだ。ちょっといいかな、安永くん、吉次くん。
母さん大丈夫？
具合悪いのに無理してんじゃねえよ。
As they helped her get up the stairs, Kaori-san looked at me with eyes that seemed both pleading and scornful. It felt like it felt like she was asking if she really had to kill these wonderful children with her own hands. This mission was too much for her to bear, and from what I could tell, she wanted to share the burden with me to make it easier for herself. It was safe to assume that the dreamlike experience had, indeed, showed me the other wolves. Calm down. Though it seemed pretty conclusive to me, this was just day one. We had the mist, the wolf symbols, and the pile of dog corpses, so it wasn't weird for a sensitive woman to become a bit sick. Even Chiemi and Hisako-san didn't look so good. The only ones who were clearly okay were Rikako-san, who looked like a no mask most of the time, and Meiko, who probably had her eyes hidden. So as long as they didn't act any more suspicious, it was all good.
配膳は僕の方でします。近持くん、君の後ろにある棚から丼を一つ持ってきてくれないか？
おお、すでに置き場を熟知してるとは。だが、僕のことはモッチーと呼ぶがよい。
I might have been the one in trouble here. I told him to call me Hassan and decided that I had to act more ignorant of things. After we ate, I pretended to be busy in the kitchen. Chiemi and Rikako-san looked like they wanted to talk, but I avoided them because I felt like I might accidentally spill the beans to them. Of course, we had to wait until Takumi-san and the Oribe brothers cleaned up the plaza, and I had tons of things to wash. Last time, the feast began at about 9, but now that Kaori-san had gone to bed for a second time, it had to happen later. It didn't show any signs of starting even at noon, so we had lunch.
獅子肉使わなきゃね。私切るよ。
てめえ釜で米炊けんのかよ。仕方ねえな。やってやっから。
I got some unexpected help, so I ended up having only to cut the veggies and add spice. We ended up with lots of decent rice and pork boar soup. I hadn't expected Yoshitsugu-kun to know how to boil rice. He probably helped out Kaori-san a lot.
はるちゃん、食べられそう？
It's not especially hard to boil rice, my dude.
I know, right?
あと、慣れ慣れしく下の名前で呼ばないでほしい。
Man, I do have to say, like, a lot of things really bother me about Haruaki, but, like, one of the really big ones is his insistence on calling Haru by her first name.
Yeah.
Like, in every single loop, she has expressed that she doesn't like it, and yet he ignores her every fucking time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Undie, man.
I hadn't
Eat shit, Haruaki.
I hadn't accepted that name, but trying to resist it would have probably made her antagonistic toward me, so I just laughed it off.
心配かけてごめんなさい。いい匂いね。誰がしてくれたの？
ちえみと吉次くんの手伝いのもと、だいたい春明さんが。
まあ、吉次も
飯炊いただけだっつうの。
食べられそうですか？
いただくわ。
Everyone noticed that her face was as pale as before, but no one pointed it out. Kanto-san was beginning to become irate, and it was clear we had to begin the feast
これ
soon.
食ったらやるか、おやっさん。
Everyone, even Kaori-san, understood what was going to happen. No, two people didn't.
いや、上の道路が塞がってるのは分かりましたけど、下の沢を通れば出られるんじゃないんですか？
下は危ないのだよ。気持ちはわかるがね。あえて試さずに救助を待つ方が良いのではないかね。
さっき芹沢さんは救助は来ないって言ってましたよ。一体何が起きてるんですか？
まあまあ、おばあさん、いずれ説明はあるんですよね。
この後、宴の時に話しますよ。
I mean, you should probably tell us now we're going to be doing it.
今してください
Yeah,
よ。
there we go.
妙なことに参加する気はないんですが。
ケイちゃん、まあまあ。
Hearing them talk made me nervous, but at least they kept everyone on their toes. Or was that a bad thing for us wolves? The paranoia is setting in.
Yeah, right.
The only thing the humans could do against the wolves was lynch, so we had to keep their motivation to do that to a minimum. At the very least, that was relatively easy today, when no one had died so far. Kanzo Makishimashi would definitely insist we hang someone, and I had to somehow shoot him down. Of course, I had to avoid standing out in a way that would affect my chances further down the line.
やるぞ。集会堂へ行け。
We all lined up, and the eldest went in first. They joined their hands and hid their faces. It was a unique sight, and once again I copied them. Like last time, I ended up at the lower end of the group, but the complete outsiders were below even me.
恥じゃないと邪魔くさいでしょ、僕。
I couldn't give any strong agreement, so I just gave him a light in response. Yeah, the gang's all here!
Yeah, everybody's here!
Tai-san declared the start of the feast, and Rikako-san handed out some divine sake.
しばらくはなさそうだよ。
Yeah, not this fucking mist lady.
Yeah. Hashimoto-san drank 3 full cups without anyone urging him to, and Mamiya-san griped that he was drinking too much. Let the man enjoy some sake, goddammit.
Yeah, seriously.
He'd also had 3 more helpings of lunch. It was appropriate for someone of his size, so I hadn't even commented on it.
Yeah, keep reminding us he's fat, Haruaki. We don't remember on our own, so every time you have an opportunity, just remember, let us know.
Yeah, Takami's a big guy, but you don't talk about how much he eats.
I know, right?
Fat-shaming bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
With him being the first to drink, the rest of us were a bit taken aback. Then Tai-san explained the legend and the feast. Oh, good, we're not going to go through the whole thing. Oh, it's super illegal. Just like last time, after asking this and that, Mamiya-san eventually took that strong stance on the whole thing.
しかし、やらんと死ぬのはあたしらなのよ。
だからって。
最後まで聞こう。意見を言う前に、まず聞くべき質問が
I love Yudai.
たくさんできそう。
Yudai is very good.
わかりました。
Mamiya-san still
Everyone
had a
needs a
stern
Yudai in their lives.
I know, right? Mamiya-san still had a stern expression, but her cool temperament made her seem like a completely different person from last time. After that, Yasunaga-kun pointed out things Tai-san missed, like the amount of people the wolves could kill, the extra info on the spider, and whether any of us were in a feast before. Then...
Uh-oh.
そのカゴというのはどうやって通知されるものでしょうか。
He is kind of like the Buddha, Hillary. I like that. Hashimoto-san, who wasn't here last time, quickly pointed out more info that was missing. Kanzo-san then explained that they appeared on the stomach.
なるほど。だから体を吹かせる
Oh
の
my
は
god.
掟の一つなんでしょうかね。
Can we play as Yudai?
汗だく
Yeah,
の
why
肌
isn't
には
Yudai the protag of this
神様も
story?
触りたがらんと。
あんた意外とよく喋るな。
ああ、失礼しました。仕事の時はああいう感じの方が
Man, Takumi and Yudai are like twin cinnamon rolls in this game.
I know, right?
They both must be protected.
He smiled, astonishing everyone yet again. He's just a big teddy bear.
He is.
At this point, all the rules except for the badger had been
なん
revealed.
か調子狂っちまったけどよ。どうすんだ？実際のところ、犬が何十匹か殺されただけで、人は死んでもね。
Alright, which one of you assholes is killing dogs?
こんなもん。
I know, right?
上藤吉の誰かの嫌がらせじゃねえのかよ。昔はよくあったってばあちゃん言ってたろ。
That was news to me.
そり
Yeah.
ゃあたしのおばあさんはね、よう
Jesus
上の人らがふざけて頼みずに獅子の血流したとか。
What the fuck, Kami Fujiyoshi?
今はさすがに
I imagine that they don't, but
I
fuck.
hope they don't.
上藤吉の村民の大部分は安水のことを無視しているように見受けられる。そも接点は
Thank you,
ほぼないのだ
Nosato.
が
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that, honestly.
一部の狩猟関係者は牧島勘蔵氏とつながりがあるが、彼らはむしろ畏敬しておりますからな、あなたを。
Kiyonosuke's kind of grown on me throughout the various loops, like now that we've gotten to know him a little bit better.
Yeah, agreed. He's definitely abrasive, but he's not a horrible person. He's just rough around the edges.
Yeah, exactly. We hated him at first because he was an asshole, but it's like, well, you know, he had no reason to actually trust any of us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just a blockhead.
Yep.
まあ今、新内さんの元で狩りができるの、肝臓じいちゃんだけだもんね。
Wait, really?
But that was some interesting info.
それはともかく、その通りで、今時休めずに悪さしてやろうなんてのは、学校の子らか長者くらいのもんでしょう。
またそうやって長者を不当に中傷するのかね。彼らもそんなに暇ではないのだよ。
不当かな。あの山祭りなんて休みずに対するいじめ以外の何者でもないと思うけど、訴えれば勝てるよ。
は
あ。
ちなみに近持ちよ。
なんだろ
う。お前じゃないよな、このいたずら。
You're not killing all the dogs, are you?
おお、あり得る。
God damn it, Mochi. It was?
しかし残念。いたずら犯として信用されてるのは嬉しいけど、これは僕じゃない。単純に無理だよね。あんだけ犬をいっぱい集めて殺すのって。
If you were a wolf.
まあそうだよ。
Which he's not.
Not this time, but.
まだ僕が野里だった時、誕生日にいっぱいモルモット買ってもらって、池に沈めて遊んだことならある。
Oh no, Mochi!
は？何それ？
あ、すいません。
That's some psychopath shit.
最低。
もうやんないよ。
Oh, okay, sure.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
What stopped you, Mochi?
ネズミとかゴキブリにしてよ。
ネズミを殺すぞ。
Oh boy.
Everyone remembers that.
Yeah.
I could tell that the weirdos here were making Mamiya-san uncomfortable, but Hashimoto-san was unfazed as always. I had a feeling that the new info I was hearing here came from the fact that no one had died, so tension levels were low.
とにかく、どうすんだよ、宴は。
よろしいかね。
He made the first move? I recalled hearing that Takumi-san was the one who moved first the very first time. He'd revealed that he was the snake. Last time, one of the monkeys, Kanzo-san, suggested that I die. The flow of events had changed, so maybe he didn't have the guardian this time. I can't talk tonight. Perhaps it wasn't a good idea to decide who had and didn't have guardians based on that alone. Just adding Hashimoto-san had changed the course of discussion completely. And this time, Chiemi was the girl that criticized Fujiyoshi with her city dweller mentality, basically bringing her back around to how she was in the first loop. Last time, besides the strong words on day one, she stayed passive, only hesitantly making moral objections. By becoming a wolf, she'd greatly changed her approach to the feast. Now, there was Kinosuke-shi. I'd expected him to suggest we use a popular vote, but...
私は彼に勇気ある代表者になってもらうのが良いと思うのだがね。
He said that, while pointing at me.
What?
それは僕に死ねってことですか？
そんな言い方はしたくないが、君はそういう目的でここに来たと聞いた。最初の一人というのは選びにくいものだよ。
I'm giving up on life shtick that I used to get into the
最初の一
village.
人がいてこそ、
Yeah.
カラスの加護は名乗り出ることができる。
I didn't expect that idea to come from him. That was basically the same approach as Kanto-san's. Hadn't he voted for me the first day too? Crap.
失礼ですが、ご自分で何をおっしゃってるか理解されてますか？
そうですよ。理由もなく他人に死んでくれとかよく言えますね。
言い出しっぺの法則ってのがあるって、こないだテレビでやってたぞ。
If he was by himself, his suggestion would have no effect. However...
わしも野里の青病炭に賛成する。
His agreement was bad news for
どう
me.
いうこった、おやっさん。
人ならば休みずのために死ねる。
Alright, then you fucking do it.
Yeah, right?
わしもその気でおる。だがもうしばらくは
I could do that too, but reasons why.
なんでてめえに見てもらわなきゃなんねんだよ。
わしはこれまでに2度読み意味の宴を生き延びてきた。
He was telling us now?
どうすればいいかわしにはわかる。 ず
Oh.
くくらねばならん。そして人をくくることを恐れれ
Face got all
ば
rankly.
人は負ける。
Yeah, he cranky.
植松の若えのにもう一杯ついでやれ。
Get him drunk. Crap! Things are moving on just like last time. I played it off with some vague words back then, but would it work now?
ちょっと落ち着きましょう。こんな一方的な流れで誰かを殺すことを決めてしまうのは非常に危ない。肝臓さんが言うことは部分的にはわかりますが、万一肝臓さんが狼だった場合も同じことが言える。
Man, this is fascinating from the wolf's perspective. It was
I know.
fascinating before, but like we've switched roles and it is just
Yeah.
chef's kiss.
And
I'm enjoying the hell out of this.
Yeah, everything is just like, oh god, what's gonna go wrong now? It's like Super 4D Chess Turbo Edition.
Yeah, and I mean, also, I still don't care whether or not Haruaki dies or lives. So,
Right.
you know, it's there's not a whole lot of there's not a lot on the line for me here. I'm
Right,
just
yeah.
really
Oh,
into
yeah.
this.
安永、そもそも何が正しいというの？くくらなきゃならないのはどうして？
タイバーの話じゃ、僕らは宴の外で人を殺すことを禁じられてる。今ここに16人いて、13人が人、3人が狼。宴をやれば、たとえデタラメに1人殺していっても最終的に狼を殺しきれる可能性はある。でも宴をサボり続ければ、狼は一晩に1人確実に殺せるから、13日後に必ず僕らは全滅する。ただ僕もわからない。この中に本当に狼がいたとして、本当に人を殺す気なのかどうか。もしただ単に霧が出て誰かが悪質ないたずらをしてるだけってなら。
狼は
Ah, there he is.
Ah.
Our goatess boy.
Everyone's
You know, the way
surprised.
he talks and enunciates, like, because he talks so slow and dragged out when he says, "Oh, Kami," like,
Yeah.
it's been pointed out before that Okami is like another way to say the word God.
Yeah.
But I really wonder if he's being like obtuse on purpose. Like, is God coming?
Yeah.
We're not actually talking about a wolf, we're talking about God.
Yeah. Everyone's surprised that he suddenly began to speak. I was pretty used to it by now, though. Haruaki gets so complacent. He's just like, man, whatever. Yeah, kill me.
I'm used to it by now.
I'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh.
Wow, he's talking a lot now.
Yeah.
山じゃ。ありゃ山から言われて汚れを振りまいとる。
Yomi is the mountain?
何を言うとるのよ、おじいさん。新内様は人の味方じゃ。
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
山に味方もクソもあるもんか。
I feel like that is super significant.
Yeah.
気まぐれでむごい腹が減りゃこうやって育てたもんを食らう。
This man is speaking hard truths.
Yeah, I know.
俺ら宴するしかねえの。
Not much he said came as a surprise to me, but I sure did expect to hear it from him. I wasn't the only one. The weird way he presented it made most people here uneasy and maybe even scared.
じじいも昔宴に出ておった。ボケてもその時のことは覚えとるんだろう。狼はくくる。
ちょっといいですか？
Everyone looked at me with sharp eyes.
その
Never mind.
かつての読み意味の宴ではどうやって一人くくる人を選んだのですか？
一人一票で選んだ。
I mean, the old man has at least been in two. He was with Kanzo.
Yeah.
And Kanzo's only been in two. So he's been in at least two.
And considering apparently he was old when Tai was young, maybe he's been in more.
He's probably been in quite a few. I'd guess as much. Apparently the popular vote was tradition.
今回もそうすべきだと思いますか？皆さんはどう思われます？
My question caused some whispers among the people.
そんなもんで決めていいのかよ。
うん。多数決で選ばれたら文句言わずに死ななきゃならないなんてひどいよ。
でも他に一人を選ぶ方法はない。
しっかり話し合って決めればいい。それで決まらねえならくくるべきじゃねえだろ。
Takumi, you sweet cinnamon roll.
しかし全員一致などあるのかね。当の本人は同意することなどなかろう。
はーい。じゃあここでみんなのために死んでもいいよって人挙手。
Jimmy had used this to gain everyone's trust. Rikako-san had used this to convey to me that Mako had a guardian. Basically, it was just pure strategy.
Oh, also something that occurred to me. Rikako explained to us her code for Mako. So, like, if we're around when Mako talks to Rikako, we might be able to learn whether or not she has a guardian.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
If they didn't need to take the risk this time, they simply wouldn't do it. That meant that it was likely that Mako didn't have a guardian this time. What was I to do here? I thought for a moment and concluded that if I raised my hand here, everyone would gladly hang me. No matter how kind-natured and reasonable they tried to appear, they actually didn't care much about me.
Yeah, no shit, buddy. You've been here for a day as far as they're all concerned.
Yeah. Chiemi and Rikako-san would value me more than most, but there was no arguing that they favored their own. I could totally imagine them prioritizing everyone else and tearfully voting for me. Otherwise, if my fate had already been decided at that point, they would vote for someone else to send them a message or keep them on their toes. It was definitely a dangerous situation for me.
It's always been a dangerous situation for you, numbnuts.
There was one way that might have been able to save me, though. I could do what I'd done last time. By sounding like I could be an asset to them, I'd buy time for myself. And finally reveal that I had a guardian. I'd have to make sure that the real one with said guardian was gone at that point, though. That meant using the time I had to find and kill them. Could I really do that, though?
威勢のいいこと言っといて、てめえはどうなんだよ、タク。
俺はまだ死ねない。
あ、待って。一応注意。加護を持っている人は注意した方がいい。
God damn it, Yasu.
どういうこと？兄ちゃん。
He went on to give the starting warning that those with guardians should keep their status hidden. However, it was better to go against that warning when the snake or crow found a wolf or when a fake appeared, and the monkeys were an exception to that. The explanation for the monkeys was the same as last time. The thing about the snake or the crow finding a wolf as well as the appearance of a fake weren't mentioned back then.
加護者は狙われやすいから黙ってた方がいい。でも、喋ると圧倒的に有利な場合や黙ると不利な場合は別。その基準としては、やはり偽物が現れた時と狼を見つけた時というのが分かりやすいと思う。
偽物なんて出てくるのか？
きっと出てくる。
Yasunagi went and briefly explained that wolves had to actively lie to win. He also added that humans should avoid lying as much as possible.
宴のことで嘘をつくのは狼だけ。そうした方が後々困らない。と思うんだけど、肝臓さん、どうですか？
今の説明で分かったもんはおるか？
No lying, it's bad.
Lying is bad. Got it.
This was the time. Kanzo-san and Yasunagi spent a lot of the beginning last time fighting over the lead despite both being monkeys. With Haruchan and Tai-san's deaths, the one in charge ended up being Takumi-san. If a calm and collected Takumi-san ended up assisting Yasunagi-kun like last time, the wolves would be at a huge disadvantage. Now, if Kanzo-san ended up in charge and controlled the feast with an iron fist, the order would collapse, perhaps to our advantage. However, that increased my chances of getting killed. I had to find a balance. I nonchalantly, yet unhesitantly, raised an arm. A few others followed my lead. Chiemi, Rikako-san, Kaori-san, Yoshitsugu-kun, Kiyonosuke-shi, Takuri-san, Mamiya-san, Hashimoto-san, Mochi...
わしも それで
He backed down? Yasunaka and everyone who raised their hands amounted to 12, a clear majority. His polite, calm explanation bore fruit. But was Kanzo-san the type to back down in a situation like this?
じゃがククルモンは一人一票で決める。
Ah, so he had conditions for his agreement.
別にいいじゃねえか。どうせずっとダラダラ話してても決まらねえ。逆に話し合いで筋が立ってんなら多数決にしたってその結果が出るだけだろうがよ。
まあそれも一理あるんだ。匠にどうする？
わかった。
冗談きつい。
The bartering with Yasunaka-kun had made Takumi-san agree to something he'd been completely disapproving of. Chiemi had realized that she had to accept it, so she'd given up on arguing and only complained. Kanzo-san had a tendency to strong-arm people to get what he wanted, but he was good at it.
で、だいぶ話がそれてたけどよ。不採取をくくろうってのか？
Things were looking bad for me. Suddenly, I got help from where I least expected it.
今日はその
Yeah!
ククルでしたっけ？しなくてもいいんじゃないですか？
今日はというか、そもそもすべきじゃないと思いますけど。
もし殺さなきゃ殺さ
God
れる。
damn, I love
と
Yudai.
明らかになった
Yeah,
ら
he's very good.
僕は殺すよ。
Like, yeah, like, this sucks, but if it's kill or be killed, then yeah, you survive.
Yeah. We're what, like 20 hours into the game, 25 hours into the game, we finally get this good Yudai content?
Yeah.
Jesus.
And he's got a daughter at home. Of course he's going to want to survive.
Yeah.
His tone was calm, but his words were terrifying.
妻と
Yep.
娘
Oh,
が
Oh shit,
three
he's got
daughters.
3 daughters!
家で待ってるからね。
Mamiya-san's eyes widened. She must have realized just how serious he was.
前におっしゃってましたもんね。仕事で死ぬつもりはないって。
Yeah, no, fuck that noise. Yeah, he's got to get home to his daughters.
Yeah.
だから皆さんの話をじっくり聞かせてもらったんですけどね。多分先手を打って処刑を行うと狼側に殺戮の理由を与えることになるんじゃないですかね。
That was a general observation that no one argued against, probably because they didn't have a good comeback.
だいたいルールは飲み込めました。考えを言いたいですが、よろしいかな？どうも。間違えてたら、
He's so sweet and polite.
詳しそうだから、
His eyebrows
指
look
摘
like
して
little
くれるかな？
あ、はい。
じゃあ、この手続きでは、高確率で5人以上の死人が出ますね。最短でも狼3人と、夜の死人が2人。
そうですね。雲の加護によって守られない限りは。
つまり、今誰かを処刑しようがしまいが、夜に誰か死にますね。
そりゃそうだな。
Okay.
しかし今日くくらねば狼は
Yeah,
減るこ
but
と
with
なく
these odds, you have a much
宴は
better
長
chance
引
of
くのだ
accidentally
が
hanging a
ね。
human.
Yeah.
それはおかしいですね。今日の処刑は明日カラスのカゴ車に名乗り出てもらうための処刑なんでしょう。狼は絶対出てこないと思われる。そりゃあ果たして有効なんですか？効果はゼロとは言わないが、考えてみてください。明日こう言われる。私がカラスのカゴ車です。昨日処刑された不妻子さんは人でした。よしんば、不妻子さんは狼でしたと来て、他に誰も名乗り出ないから信じてどうなる？まだ14人残っていて、狼も2人残っている。
Holy shit.
Oh my god. Oh my god, it's
This
so
guy's
nice.
playing 4D chess in his head.
I know. Oh my god, thank you.
思うに早かろうが遅かろうが勝負がつくのは人数がある程度減ってからなのは間違いない。
It's kind of like a very like leisurely approach. Like people are gonna die no matter what. Why rush to the gallows when we can get more information?
Yeah.
And it seems that very much is in line with the way I perceive him as this sort of like slow and steady wins the race type.
Mm-hmm.
だから今日一人何の確証もなく処刑するというのは。
Oh, this absolute mental powerhouse. Thank you.
それはそうかもしれませんが。
He has a lot of points.
それは危険だ。そうやってくくることがなければ人は絶対に勝てんのだぞ。
No, yeah, but you're making things worse for yourselves.
Yeah, it honestly doesn't make much sense to hang anyone on the first day.
It doesn't.
その通り。ただ、今日この時だけは待ってもいいんじゃないですかと言ってます。今日、とりあえずで誰かを処刑すれば、狼側には本当に殺されるんだと。
Yeah, he's approaching this from a more like human standpoint. Like less supernatural and more just like an actual, mundane game of werewolf.
Yeah.
逆に向こうが先に攻撃してくれば、
Yeah, let the wolves draw first blood instead of it. Like everyone here is paralyzed by the legend, so like they're all ready to start drawing blood, and Yudai's like, I'm not convinced yet. You know, let them draw first blood, and then we'll fucking sweep them.
Yeah, because like, you know, if we kill someone, then tomorrow we'll be down 2, probably humans, most likely 2 humans. Or versus, you know, if we don't kill someone, tomorrow we'll be down 1 known human.
Right, exactly.
繰り返しますが、今日の夜、確実に誰か一人が死ぬんです。処刑の有無に関係なく、狼が本気ならね。しかし、今夜の被害者を狼の報復と捉えるか、狼の卑劣な先制攻撃と捉えるかには、
Oh, it completely recontextualizes the game.
Yeah.
要は、狼が本当に殺してからでないと、僕らは強い心でも。
It's such sound logic too. Like I will be shocked if anyone can come up with a strong counter argument.
Yeah, it's like at this point it just feels like anyone who would refute it would just be stubborn.
Yeah.
こうやって牽制することで、狼も
look at his cute smile.
殺人をやめることを僕は期待してますが、難しいのかな。
それは
無理よ。
Here we go.
Here we go.
狼は来るぞ。
なるほど。ただそうだとしても、被害がないのに。攻撃をするというのはなかなかストレスフルな決断ですからね。この状況でほぼ間違いなく狼ではない誰かに犠牲になってもらって僕らの中に不和を残すよりは今晩の一人に団結のための犠牲になってもらう方が
He really is the fucking Buddha.
マシだと思いますね。
He had a point. Yes.
Yeah, no shit. He's going to be absolutely key to breaking the loop.
Yeah, as a general rule, it was disadvantageous for the humans to waste an opportunity to lynch. However, making a preemptive attack when you had limited information and the chance of getting a wolf was low was extremely risky. Thus, it was a good option to prioritize emotional superiority and unity. Not many people could argue against this. Hashimoto-san was just too good of a speaker, the opposite of Kiyonosuke-shi. His suggestion was beneficial for the wolves too, but only for now. It would be far more difficult for us to kill someone tonight.
今聞いて、僕も橋本さんのおっしゃることに一理あると思いました。実際、まだお互いのことをよく知りもしない方が混じっている状況で、誰か一人をすぐ殺してしまうのはもったいない。
それは私も思いました。 おそらくですが、この読み意味の宴で最後にものを言うのは情報ですよね。
どういうことかな、Q ちゃん。
誰が誰の味方をしたか、誰がいつおかしなことを言ったか、そういうのの積み重ねが狼を特定する。人が嘘をつけないルールにしたことで、嘘を重ねていく狼はいつかボロを出す。そうやって狼を見つけてから対処するのがきっと正しいですし、きっと一人の手がかりから全ての狼を明らかにするとか、そういうことも考えられるんじゃないかと。
なるほど、推理ってわけだ。そこまでうまくいくかはわかりませんが、狼を泳がせておいて、
God, these journalists are going to be a pain in the ass, and I love it.
否定することができれば、それ以降無駄な処刑を行わずに済むから遅れを取り戻せるかもしれませんね。それに今夜何もわからないわけじゃない。蛇は確実に誰か一人の正体を知ることになるから。
そうですね。
That'd be great. Our entire purpose of this
Oh
is to
shit,
save Yudai.
Yasunaga-kun, that is incredible. What a good point.
Oh. He presented the likely disadvantages that could emerge and provided ways to turn them around. It was really effective. Most of you didn't want to kill anyone yet, but had to balance out the pros and cons of doing so. If they were told that the negatives could be made up for, they had no reason not to cling to that. Crap, I fell silent. Silent people were considered to be passive accomplices to the wolves. I had to say something.
確かに有効に思えます。ちょっと露骨な話ですが、もう一つ利点がある。
何かな、不妻子くん。
狼側は当然優先的にカゴ者を殺したいわけですよね。しかし今日処刑を行えば、狼側がカゴ者を選ぶ選択肢を狭めることにもなります。特に本格的に容疑者に選ばれた人がカゴ者だったりすれば、その人は自分の正体を明かさざるを得なくなる。人は嘘をつかないし、狼は互いの正体を知ってるので、狼は確実にそれがカゴ者だとわかる。しかし現時点でカゴ者が名乗り出るメリットはゼロです。まだ誰も何もカゴによって情報を得ていないから。
ただ狼に殺されるだけ。
そう。
ふむ、確かだね。
もちろんカゴ者を引く可能性は低いですが、ただの人をくくってしまえばその分狼が殺す候補も減る。
This is all just rehashing what Yudai said.
狼でない人は今13人。1人いなくなれば12人。ここから狼はカゴ者を選ぶ。
母数が減ればそれだけカゴ者が当たる率が高い。
やっぱり初日にくくることは弊害が大きそうに思いますね。
Yeah. I actually thought that this way of handling the wolves was good for the humans. From what I could tell, Kaori-san and Haru-chan would be found out sooner than later. I had my looping, it was generally a scumbag, so I wasn't as shaken by the situation as they were. But my situation wasn't exactly solid.
I'm so glad he acknowledges that he's a piece of shit.
I could fall into traps set by the humans
どう
too.
思う、匠に。
狼が絶対に殺すって前提で話が進んでるのが気に食わねえが、殺されないならこっちも殺さないってのは。
Yeah, I'm surprised no one's coming up and saying who's the monkey right now. That's usually something that happened right off the bat.
Yeah.
おやっさんは
狼は確かに殺す。
そうかもしれねえがよ。
が、でけえのの言うこともわかる。
What?
今日くくるかくくらんかで票取れ。それで決まりゃ、それで。
Oh, damn. He convinced
Oh.
Kanzo.
Wow. I mean, not shocking. He's incredible.
Right.
はい。
あ、忘れてた。
あ？
君、猿は名乗り出ない理由がないって言ってたよね。
猿は相互証明できるから語られにくいし、それ以上の能力はないから狼にも狙われにくいから。
なるほど。というわけで。
Oh!
ちなみにもう一人の方はちょっと読みが分かりづらいのと漢字が潰れてて分かりづらかったけど、なんとかださ。
鴨志田近持は僕だ。僕は猿だ。僕は猿だ僕は
何回言うのよ。
そっか、モッチーは猿だったんだ。
Mochi was the monkey twice. Pure relief. Yasunaga-kun was glad that his best friend was definitely not a wolf. Such behavior was a good way to guess whether someone was a wolf or not. Reactions were important.
橋本さんが親切ぶった狼じゃないってことが確かになったわけだが、処刑を行うか行わないか。
違う。今日くくるか死人が出るのを待ってくくるかよ。死人が出たらどうあっても一日一人くくる。そう約束せえ。
I'm going a little hang happy.
Well, I mean, he's lived through 2 feasts before.
It's been so long since my last feast. I gotta hang someone.
タエバーもええか。
そうね。
構わんのではないかね。
僕もいいです。
With no more counter arguments, we began the vote. He's hankering for a hangin.
Yeah, he is.
The results came quick. The only ones who voted to hang someone today were the old wolf guy and Kanzoshi. Everyone else chose to wait until the wolves made a move, so we didn't hang anyone today.